Welcome to Statistics Online. This is just a basic tour of the course. When you first log into the course, you will see the course announcement screen with a general overview of what is expected. Specific information can be found in the Lessons tab. In the Lessons tab, you'll see several folders. The first folder is the Course Information folder, and within that folder there are several documents. The first document is the course outline. It covers how you'll be evaluated, the textbook requirement, the calculator requirement, and the prerequisites for this course, and some other comments about the course. The next document is the course syllabus. This is copied from the San Juan College homepage, and it lists the general learning outcomes that are expected for statistics students. The next item is the San Juan College Academic Honesty Rules link, also on the San Juan College homepage. The next document is the document that has the deadlines for homework and tests. These deadlines are also copied into the calendar under the Calendar tab. Your homework will be submitted through My Stat Lab and also your tests, and that is the software that comes bundled with your text. In this course, you're also going to be required to turn in work done by hand, and those are called labs, and they will be in the Lessons tab and in the work folder, and I'll show you that in just a minute. The next document is the document that covers sections covered and the sample schedule. The sample schedule is there to help pace yourself, and it covers the sections we would be covering if we were a face-to-face class. I will send you a weekly reminder giving you some pieces of information about the sections we're going to be covering that week if we were a face-to-face class, where you should be, some common mistakes students make in each chapter, and some information regarding the labs depending on where we're at in the semester. The next document is for distance students only. The final exam is required to be proctored, and this form you can download and give to your potential proctor. The proctor will fill it out, and either you or the proctor can send it back to me for approval. An appropriate proctor would be a testing center at a local community college or a university, a tutoring center such as a Sylvan Learning Center, a librarian, or a school guidance counselor. But an employer or a neighbor or friend or clergy will not be considered an appropriate proctor. The next document is the document or the information for the local students for our testing center. If you are a local student, you will be taking your final exam at the San Juan College Testing Center, and you do not need to fill out a proctor form. I will provide them with the information for the final exam. The next item is just a brief information item containing the San Juan College Tutoring Center hours and location. The next thing here is a little video on how to see your grades. I keep the grades here in Angel, not in the gradebook in My Stat Lab, and you can see your grades under the Report tab up here. And the next document is just a document describing the differences between a high school and college course for your entertainment. Going back to the Lessons tab, the next folder is going to be the first assignment folder, and your first assignment is going to be to fill out or initial and sign the course agreement indicating that you've read all of the information in the Lessons tab. There's about 18 statements to sign, initial, and then you sign and indicate to me if you are a distance student or local student with respect to the final exam. I need to keep track of the proctor forms coming in, and I also need to provide our testing center with a head count. So make sure you fill out on your course agreement if you're going to be a distance student or local student for the final exam. The next item here is the drop box for the course agreement. Please scan your document your course agreement as a PDF file and submit it through here as an attachment. Going back to the Lessons tab, the next item is the class introduction venue. It's optional. Please take a moment to introduce yourself, and this is here to hopefully give us a sense of community. The next item is the work folder, and this is where you're going to be getting access to your labs, and also in the homework and test folder there's a link to the My Stat Lab homepage. And here's a document describing how to get registered with My Stat Lab. Again, you'll be submitting your homework and tests through My Math Lab, and it is required that you purchase the Access Kit. If it did not come bundled with your text, you need to purchase it separately. Going back to the work folder, the next folder is the Labs folder, and these are assignments that you will be doing quote-unquote by hand and scanning and submitting through the Dropbox, or you can open up the lab document. It's a Word document, and you can type into the document and also cut and paste your graphs, and then send it through its corresponding Dropbox as an attachment as a Word document. If you are a local student, you are welcome to turn in your work into my mailbox in room 1640 with the time and date stamp. Going back to the work folder, the last item will be the homework from the text. I do not collect those. However, your homework in My Stat Lab is going to be similar to the problems assigned from the text, so you can use those for reference and for extra practice. The next item in the Lessons tab is a discussion board. You're welcome to post questions or comments to your fellow students to get help. Hopefully someone may have encountered a similar problem that has some ideas to help you out. I will be checking this periodically to make sure that suggestions submitted are on the right track. The next folder is the study cards folder, and I have a StatCrunch study card you are welcome to use. You will be using StatCrunch for your labs, and this is just a quick guide, this first item here. The centerfold from the text and the F-table and correlation table document were copied from the text, and those two will be provided to your proctor for the final exam. You may not bring your own. Going back to the Lessons tab, the last folder is the folder of instructional videos and audios. I've created these as extra tutorials on how to use your calculator, StatCrunch, or if you're a local student wanting to use Minitab in our labs. There's some corresponding examples, video examples. These are put in order with respect to how the course moves, and in my weekly email addresses I will sometimes mention which one of these folders will be helpful to you for either the homework or the labs. Now within each of these folders, some of them may contain steps written by hand, a corresponding audio file, and then a corresponding calculator video and or StatCrunch and Minitab video. So for example, I clicked on this folder for confidence intervals for the mean given large samples. I've included a sample problem that you can print, and here's a corresponding calculator tutorial and a corresponding StatCrunch tutorial. Now going back to the instructional audios and videos, let's take a look at another one briefly. For example, hypothesis tests for the mean large sample will have not only the problem, but I have written the steps out and scanned them. there will be a corresponding audio file with me explaining these steps, and this particular folder also has a calculator tutorial, a StatCrunch tutorial, and a Minitab tutorial. So hopefully these will be extra examples and extra supports to help you with your lab, in particular help you with your labs. Now if you need to send me an email, you need to do so through the Communicate tab. And rather than responding to an email, if you have a new question for me, please create a new email for that. In other words, I like to save communication with respect to the subject. So if you're sending me a new email question, not responding to an old one, you click on Communicate, okay, and Compose Message, and then you want to click on To, and then you click on Groups, and then click on All Course Faculty, and then click on To again, right here, and click on OK. And please include a brief subject line up there. I hope you enjoy the course, and if you have any questions, my phone number is area code 505-566-3150, and my mailbox is in room 1640. Thank you.